Welcome to the Beefy Bets. We're going over our favorite picks for this upcoming fight night card between Cannonier and Borralho. I'm Dominic Rossetti, my podcast partner Harrison. Man, how you doing this evening, man?
I am good. I am good. Um, we're gonna get this going live. I thought that I had it going live, and it's telling me that our YouTube server access is not linked. So we'll get that worked on next week. It will be
Yeah.
live. Promise you guys. Luckily, it's just a Apex Fight Night, so we're not gonna miss out on the worst or the best card to break down for you livers. For all you recorded viewers, welcome back, as it's always been. That being said, yeah, Cannonier, Borralho. I actually am super juiced on the main event. Don't hate the co-main event either. I kind of like the co-main event. As you were saying, the main card is honestly not bad for an Apex, but like, dude, the prelims. Woo! And if I hadn't watched Tough, I wouldn't care about that fight, but I have, so I do.
Yeah. Have you ever seen those things online where it'll have like Jordan and Kareem and all the goats, and then it'll be like assemble your favorite team for
Yes, for
for five
prices. Yeah.
five. Yeah. It like this is like they spent XP on like the main card, and then by the time they got to the prelims, they
They
just had
decided
to
to
scratch
shovel them in.
together absolute horseshit. But yeah, like you were saying, like when we talked about this ad nauseum on the pod, like there's three kinds of cards. There's Apex Fight Nights, Arena Fight Nights, and pay per views. And I'll say, as far as Apex Fight Night goes, I ain't mad at this main card at all. But you were saying a greater point is that like the fact that this bullshit kind of double standards even had to get created in the first place is that's a conversation for another day. But we're almost to the end of the Apex era, at least the Apex era as we know it. The Apex is going to
Correct.
be going like a renovation where they're making it into like a small arena. Like there's going to be fans at Apex events, but I think there's going to be like a 10-month window or an 8-month
Where they
window where
can't
there's no
fight
A.
there, and that's gonna be bro, here's my point. And then we can keep it pushing to the fights after this. But if they put on as many events as they would have with the Apex, still like while it's under construction, if they still put on the same amount of events in different cities, I will be so heated about all the years that we've spent with. We've had 100 Apex events. For what? If
Yeah,
you could have gotten cities the whole time.
it'll be less, but by a small margin. Like I think it'll be 2 to 3 a month as opposed to 4 a month. But like I think most people would be cool with that. Especially it's about to be college football season. Like, hey, perfect timing for me to have a Saturday off every now and again.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Like it is, and I do think Dana did that strategically. Like, hey, football's king; we can never beat it, so might as well take the time that football is happening and redo our place. But just makes me like feels like the UFC is just trying to make more money by doing the Apex because they own it, so they don't have to go buy rent out an arena. And like, I know there's the argument of gate versus like they don't have a gate there technically right now. I mean, they do, but it's like VIP style only. So I just kind of I don't know. I hate the whole Apex idea because I think traveling around to cities is like part of what builds fans too, man.
Well, also like if the WWE can do it for like 40 something years straight or whatever,
And they
then
travel
like
310 days a year, not even
yeah,
like
yeah, that
45 like the UFC.
sure, brother. But yeah, we'll dive into this main card here. Um, man, Canada Borralho, as a fan, I'm chomping at the bit. As a better, I mean, I kind of don't know what to do with this because first off, you can't bet against the fighting nerds. Like you'd be an
I
absolute fool, even though
know.
we just kind of did with the Gene Lee Aim. Hey, we were fishing for a dog. We were fishing for a dog. Fucking sue us.
Also,
But
ooh. Also, ooh.
oof, yeah, coming off a cold week, folks.
The
But
coldest.
but yeah, man, like I said, I don't. You said you have kind of a take on this main event. I kind of don't because like my power rankings have Cannonier 7, Borralho at 13. Clearly, that's a like level of competition and sample size. And there's a lot of things that don't necessarily apples to apples that go into that power ranking. You can't bet against the fighting nerds. It's a huge leap up for Borralho. Cannonier's getting older, but doesn't show it really at all. He's
I
a freak.
know, I know, I know.
Um,
And like, yeah, bro, his last two wins are over Vittori and Strickland. He obviously did get knocked out by Imavov, but we were talking about how that was an early stoppage, and it was like it's a debatable early stoppage because like Cannonier was probably going to get finished, but the ref didn't allow that last shot to land. So, and that was in the
oh,
fourth
for
round.
sure.
I think my biggest thing here, and I'm you could call this going out on a limb, because Cannonier has never lost by sub, I kind of like Borralho to catch a sub transitioning on a takedown, because Borralho, not only does he get takedowns and is he good at controlling, but he's so good at working to your back from the takedown, like on the feet. I kind of like, in 25 minutes, I don't hate the Borralho by sub here.
Yeah,
Cannonier,
moneyline Borralho
Cannonier 40 years old.
Yeah, the age, I don't know what to do with that either, because it's like I said, like Cannonier is getting older, but he really doesn't show it. But Borralho is the definition of a young lion. Like
And
the definition
Borralho,
of a young
31,
lion.
like what do we always talk about fighting prime? Like 31,
Super
32,
prime.
33, like he's right in it.
Undefeated too. So moneyline Borralho minus 240, Cannonier plus 200. Initially, I was thinking that if we were fishing for a dog, would be open to the Cannonier sprinkle, but I don't think we're going to have to. I think there's some other dogs I like. So I think moneyline, we're just not going to bet this one. I'm looking up Borralho by sub. Books have it around 325 plus 325. So, I mean, that might be worth looking at.
It's either Borralho decision or Borralho sub, I think. I think Borralho wins this fight. Like, I have him 2 stars, but I think the value is on the sub. In 25 minutes, I would take the plus 325 versus the what is it? Plus 200 decision, not bad either.
25% of Borralho's wins by sub. Let's see. He subbed Oleksiejczuk. I think it's going to be obviously harder to sub Cannonier, but he has more time to do it. His only UFC sub.
Well, but it's going to be impossible to sub Paul Craig. You obviously TKO Paul Craig when you fight him. Like, you don't sub him because you don't play the game. Yeah. And then, like, same thing with Petrosian. Like, you don't sub him because he's just a wrestler. Like, you'd sleep him or beat him striking. Like, Magomedov,
this is crazy.
Abus was a striker. So, like, Borralho just out-wrestled him but didn't sub him. That gives me cause.
He also didn't sub Muradov or Petrosian, you know what I mean? And then also, just crazy looking at his topology, he took a grappling match against Jailton Almeida and lost, basically, it says escape time, so he didn't even get subbed. What a fucking dog. Wow. That's so sick. And I'm looking at his topology. A lot of his subs came early in his career in Brazil on, like, the regional scene. So, you know what, man? I kind of like him by decision here. Because Cannonier goes through a lot of decisions when he's facing these elite guys. He's proven he can take Sean Strickland. He's proven he can take these elite guys to the distance. He proves he's a tough night out. And Borralho seems, as the competition level increases, to not really. But I think it's a choice. I think he's like choosing position over submission to like play it safe because he knows his opponents are so good. You know what I mean? Because he's so smart. Fight IQ so high. I don't think he's jumping gillies against MMA, like our top UFC competition. So I think I am going to flip my tune here. If we are searching for a prop later
over 3.5 minus 180.
Oh, don't love the value there though. But you said Borralho by decision is
plus 200.
Plus 200. You know what? I'll note that down for later. Go ahead and introduce the co-main if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta get back to it. I gotta get off Borralho's page. I'm trying to suck him off. Oh, dude, this is I was getting a little too heavy into that. This is another one of those crazy age gap fights that I was talking about. We got old Angela Hill taking on Tabby Ricci. I said neither of their full names. Get over it. Man, you know, this is a fight that I felt like a little conflicted about, and I was like, I don't know who I have here. By the way, what was your pick on Cannonier Borralho? I don't think you gave a pick. Borralho, as far as stars.
Because officially I have a no bet on the money line. I was going to pick Cannonier 1 star, but then I was like, you can't fade the fighting nerd. So I no betted it. Sorry if that's boring, but I am open to the Borralho by decision when it comes time for the prop segment on best bets. So moneyline official pick, no bet. I'll probably on verdict do like a very low XP sprinkle on Cannonier by decision. I'm not putting my actual hard-earned money against the fighting nerds. Borralho in specifically, I'm pretty conflicted on that one, like I said, but I'm open to Borralho by decision. when it comes time for props. So,
All right, so hear me out, and this is gonna sound bananas crazy. I have Ricci as 2 stars, and it's not even really that I think like X's and O's she's necessarily like a whole lot better. Like I think these girls are actually pretty close. However, what I do think is I bet on Angela Hill to lose her last 2 fights, and she won both. And if I bet her to lose a third time, I don't think she's gonna win a row. And like, you see what I'm saying? Like I'm betting on black. I'm betting on black. I'm betting on black. I'm gonna ride the same color. She's so old that she has to have a crazy fall off. There is going to be a fight where she has a crazy fall off. She keeps fighting. I'm betting on the fall off every time. I don't care.
yeah, man. And if you look, I mean, Ricci's only UFC losses is up a weight class Manon Fiora. The fact that she took that fight and lasted 8 minutes is so good.
And Ricci's the dog in this fight. Like I think for the value, like I have to bet this.
Other loss, split decision to Lupe Godinez, who's a wrestler. So very like different.
Angela Hill does have a decision over Godinez, unfortunately. So like MMA math would dictate.
Yes, MMA math. I noticed that. Yeah, so I'm going Ricci 1 star.
I think 39 years old at women's flyweight, man.
But yeah, point even more so.
Or strawweight. I mean, fuck, I always do that. I always think fly is 15, but straw is 15.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. And then, see, the only thing that's tough is Angie Hill. So this is a real make or break for Tabby Ricci because Angela Hill's losses, Mackenzie Dern, Verna Jandiroba, Amanda Lemos, like the top of the top. So I think if Ricci can beat Angela Hill, it's like gob her up, shovel coal. But it also could be a fraud check moment. That's why I'm going Ricci 1 star. I'm not bullish on it. Also, say for MMA math real quick. Lost to Tisha Pennington and Ricci beat Tisha Pennington. So for what it's worth, they each have like an MMA math against each other with Godinez. But I'm going Ricci.
I would also say Ricci loves to get takedowns. What would be in common of those 3 losses that you noted? I mean, Limo. Yeah, right. Because Limo, she's a striker, but also does the headlock throws. Dern, obviously, grappler. Jandiroba, grappler. Ricci averages 3 takedowns a fight. I'd call that a grappler.
Definitely more so than Angie Hill. And to Ricci's credit, she is kind of this new generation that like grew up doing like MMA. Like she's well rounded.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm not bullish on it. This is gonna be one of those hindsight 2020 ass fights where like afterwards it'll be very clear who's who and what's what. But this fight, it's good. It's good matchmaking, honestly. But yeah, I'll take the youth. I'll ride Ricci 1 star. And when I looked, it was -110 both sides. So it's basically Vegas feels the same way we do.
So it's now Ricci plus 100 and Angie Hill -120 from what I'm seeing. Depends on where you go. Depends on where you go. I'm imagining someplace probably still have it -110s.
And can you look up Ricci by decision, good sir? Because both of these girls go to decision. And like it may be shooting fish in a barrel, but strawweight women's fight go to decision. I'm all over it.
Let's see. Well, the over 2.5 is -590. So, Ricci by decision though plus 135.
I ain't mad at it. It's you could say that's greedy and try to juice from plus 100
I
to
probably
plus
wouldn't.
135. Yeah, you're right. I probably wouldn't either. But I'll say this: if I find myself in a scenario where Ricci's not on a parlay and I haven't bet this fight in any other capacity, I could see myself just like because I think if she wins, it's by decision, bro. I don't think she finishes Angie Hill. So like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when it comes. This is going to be an interesting week as far as assembling parlays, as far as the best bet segment. Like, I know you should be intrigued as a viewer because I'm intrigued as somebody who's about to take part in it. Like, I have no idea which direction this is going.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I do have some hot takes on over-unders coming up though in the prelims, which is a lot of. I'll give you the password to the prelims. Dog shit fighters, so unders.
Okay, yeah, we were talking about that a little bit last week. That's a very good point. Thanks for reminding me of that. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen a few different orders of this card. I think up next is going to be the middleweight tough finale.
Yeah,
right?
yes, sir.
Is it middleweight or light heavy?
Middle.
I forget. Middle. All right. Yeah, man. So we've got Valentin and Loder. And have you been watching this season of Tough?
Yes, sir. Robert Valentin's been my favorite guy from the very fucking start. Although
that first elbow KO that he got was
literally
sick.
won me over with that, and then I started getting more into his personality, and he's talking about like the Norse tats and how they give him his power and shit, and like all the weird shit he does. Like, I like Valentin.
You know why you like him? Who does he remind
Yuri.
you of?
I know.
No, he's got some Yuri, and then Loder's just. I mean, I'm sorry, you're a wrestler, but I mean, you'll probably even co-sign this take. Just crotch sniff McKee, right? Like
Loder's
very good at what he does.
I hate to say this, but he's stereotype American grappler that transitioned to MMA. Like
literally,
fights like Colby, like dog shit striking, just gonna try to press you on the fence and bullshit. Dude, I think with guys like Yuri that fight like that you cannot take that approach. That is the worst fucking. Like what happened to Reyes with Yuri whenever he was trying to press him on the fence and keep him there. Eventually, he had a spinning elbow.
I can see this fight looking like Blades Almeida too, like just because Loder's just going to have his head.
Absolutely, and Valentin's crazy enough to just throw those strikes. 100%.
He's just a violent man.
Super violent. I'm betting on the violence, and I'm betting on. Honestly, this is also one like head says Valentin, heart says Valentin. Like I want him to win. So.
No, I feel like as far as
it's a good number too. Like minus 180. Like it's not a bad number.
I was going to ask you the number.
I have him 3 stars.
You know, I was going to ask you, should I toss my 3rd star on? I had him 2, but after talking with you and we're like so lockstep, I think I'll toss that 3rd star on there. And at minus 180 seems parlayable.
That's what I mean. Parlayable. Like I might just do a little 2-leg Ricci Valentin this week.
We'll see when it comes time to assemble. But I just have in my notes like ability to cause damage. I just think Loder, even the rounds that he wins, like say Valentin spins a round on his back, he's going to get up and be just fine. He's not going to be worse for wear.
I think he might do damage off his back with the way Loder kind of snoozely controls a lot of the time, and where Valentin is like really looking for damage at all times.
Agreed. And like I like Loder's story. He's from Sacramento, right up the road from me. Like but like Valentin. He's a fucking savage. Up next, man, we have one that we were getting pretty active in the text chain earlier this morning. Man, Michael Morales versus Neil Magny. Man, Morales is the first time I've seen him fight. I'm really stoked that he's making his way to main cards. He's been pretty inactive. I think maybe he dealt with the injury. I'm not sure. I'm high on one of my favorite welterweight prospects, taking on the gatekeeper that ends all gatekeepers, Neil Magny. I'll be real, man. I didn't know that the money line was as big as it was until our text this morning. I thought I was going to be a smart mark, and I was like, oh, I bet not many people have Morales power ranked above Magny. I'm ahead of the curve, and then I see the money line. I'm like, womp, womp, womp. The cat's out of the bag.
Do you want to know what's so funny? Is that like sports reporters vote on the UFC rankings on their website, right? Like that's how that's done, is all their sports reporters, and then they tally up the points. So that's why you have tied rankings. Sometimes guys each have like the equivalent of like 60 points in votes, so then they have to split the ranking, which I think is stupid. Okay. Make the fucking writers vote between those two and just count the points again. Anyway, they have Magny ranked at 12. For Vegas to have this at minus 950 plus 550 right now, which this line's bouncing up and down from massive bets on either side, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe lack of action, and Vegas is chasing action. I couldn't tell you which way it is. But
ooh, good point.
But this fight's not going to be that competitive, man. Morales can equal the reach of Magny. That's the only thing Magny has his entire career was reach with. When he was younger, speed with power. He's losing his speed. His chin is starting to get more touchable. His power might be there, but I don't see him land punches that often.
You don't associate. You don't hear Neil Magny and then think power. Like if you're doing a word association.
And I used to think Neil Magny leg kicks, and now I think Neil Magny gets legs kicked.
Gets leg kicked, yeah.
So
well, you know what comes to mind for me? That the only question mark and the reason why there may be value to this matchmaking is Magny definitely, at least on paper, has the grappling advantage, like the submission threat advantage. Like, I mean, it's definitely strike. I view this as striker versus grappler. I don't think, like, in my mind's eye, if Magny tries to stand with this guy, then this is where we'll disagree too. You like Magny by decision. I think if Magny stands with this guy,
who?
I mean, you like Morales by decision.
Okay.
Excuse me, but what I'm saying is, I think that if Magny stand with him, there's no way it makes it the distance. I think Magny's best bet is like if he's attacking
he's gonna do that.
He's
gonna do that fuck shit where he like gets beat up, you get close to the cage, and he slides out and then literally just presses into you and then puts an elbow across the top of you and then underhooks and then just kind of sits there and throws bullshit knees and then you spin him back to the fence. But by this point, you're playing the game of just sitting on the fence with him. I've seen him do it so many times.
Yeah, I'll say this, man, and I'm a Morales guy. I'm a Morales fan. You get a Morales marked, if you will. I'm still shocked at this money line. I'd maybe have it Morales minus 450. Like I have Morales 4 stars. Like obviously I'm high on Morales. Like the money line to me is just kind of out of control. Like I don't feel the same way that I felt about the Tom Nolan money line. I was like, Tom Nolan shouldn't be minus 1,200 over anybody because clearly Morales is way, way, way better than Tom Nolan. So I'm not trying to make that comparison.
Hey, hear me out. Michael Morales by decision minus 110.
Don't hate that at all. It's a 3-round fight, right? Yeah, of course it is. So yeah,
that's exactly how I see this fight. I've already broken it down for you how I see it. So I'm gonna bet that 100%. There's no question I won't. Like Morales is a 5-star for me as far as winning. I might say he's a 3-star by decision, and that's minus 110. Yes, sir. Yeah. So pretty much even money. Like, don't hate it.
Yeah. I don't hate it either.
Like, I'm actually going to put Morales by decision 3 stars in my notes here.
Basically, like, you just think that Magny's going to be, like, veteran savvy / have a chin enough to, like, snooze this out.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Because he's going to have to. Because he knows to say, like, this is a kickboxing match.
Like, think about Max Griffin and Jake Matthews. They both went to decision with Morales. Why and how?
Similar style.
Same shit, just avoiding damage, not doing anything offensive, but surviving. Okay, you can lose a fight doing that.
Jake Matthews football right there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's going to be Neil Magny football. Is Neil Magny 38-year-old football?
Yeah, no, all right. Morales by decision nominated for a prop. We'll approach that on best bets. But yeah, like I said, I'm just still shocked at this money line. Picking Morales, obviously not going to bet minus 900 because I'm not Mr. Moneybag.
But to get 9 times the value just to say by decision, think about it that way. You got to think about it that way because by KO is plus 200, so it's really like it's not that much better. Yeah.
Think this like that to me that is like incongruent. Like minus 900 should mean that like by KO is like minus 200, right? Like I don't understand.
Make sure I didn't misread it. Morales wins by KO TKO plus 215. Morales by submission plus 650. It's because he's a decision machine, and Magny has never been submitted, like I said, submitted or never been knocked out. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, all right. That's interesting. But yeah, we'll keep it pushing here, and maybe this is a hot take, maybe not. We got Meerschaert, Shahbazyan. I got Meerschaert power rank 43. I got Shahbazyan power rank 48.
Ooh, really?
I do, bro. I'm gonna take Meerschaert 1-star plus 240 dog. I'm gonna need for dog of the week. Now here's where I run into a little bit of trouble. Shahbazyan's never been submitted. Clearly, Meerschaert's path to victory.
It's only submission.
Only submission. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I kind of now. This is where I'll make the Tom Nolan comparison. Like, I don't know if Shahbazyan should be minus 300 over anybody. Shahbazyan's the fumble master.
Yeah, we used to say that, and it was true at the time. And then they recalibrated his competition level. The Anthony Hernandez was tough because I remember that was a late replacement for him. He wasn't originally scheduled that. Like that, Anthony Hernandez took that on like 5 weeks' notice, which isn't necessarily late, but like Anthony Hernandez is just way better. Like they're not even close as far as skill level, in my opinion.
What though? All right, so going back,
like look who he's lost to: Hermanson and Mavov, Hernandez. These are all top 15 guys, and maybe top 10. But he KOs Lungiambula and Dobson. Meerschaert's way closer to those guys.
See, I was going to make the exact opposite point that, like, Meerschaert is significantly better than Dobson and Lungiambula.
No way.
Those guys. Yeah, bro. Dobson's been cut for a hot minute. And Lungiambula, is he still signed? Like, the Lungiambula is a can. 11-6, 2-5 in the UFC. Pretty sure not still signed.
Petrosky?
Lungiambula lost to Cody Brundage, dog.
Well, Lungiambula's not fighting in this fight. Gerald Meerschaert lost to Petrosky within the last calendar year.
Yeah, but I don't know how. I think Petrosky's. I have him power ranked above both of these guys. Yeah, like that aligns with my thinking. I would pick Petrosky over. Yeah, like to me, that's not like a shocking statement. Like that's exactly how I view the pecking order.
Yeah, I'm looking at it in terms of like the form, I guess, that I've seen recently. Like, Joe Meerschaert didn't look good in his win against Brian Barberena. It was just Brian fucking Barberena going up 15 pounds and being, like, extra fat. Like, I think GM3's going to get embarrassed. He's 10 years older than this guy. I think Shahbazyan's catching him with hard speed and KOing him. Meerschaert's chinny as fuck.
Maybe. I mean, Pfeiffer knocked him out, but I don't think Shahbazyan's anywhere near the level of Pfeiffer.
I think Shahbazyan is a hard hitter. I'll push back. I think he is a hard hitter.
But not like Pfeiffer hard. I Bruno Silva, who GM3 sub.
Ian Heinisch knocked out GM3. Like, Ian Heinisch isn't known for power. Hamzat one-punched him.
Shahbazyan to a Silva or a Muradov more than I would any of these other guys. And Trevin Giles even. Like, and these are all guys that able to get wins over.
What?
I'm super out on Shahbazyan. Shahbazyan, yeah, like I'm super out on Shahbazyan. I just will agree to disagree on this one. Like I said, at plus 240. We'll see if there's another dog I like, but I might do a one unit as a dog of the week. Like I said, I'm out on Shahbazyan. Clearly, if it's a striking match.
Shahbazyan by KO is minus 150. It's the exact thing I'm thinking too. Like, me and Vegas are lockstep on the last two.
Yeah, and that's cool, and I disagree. If that's how it worked, we would just go bet the most likely outcome on all of these.
Well, that of course, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, why is it the most likely outcome? You got to admit, there's a reason.
Yes, if this is a standing fight, if this is a kickboxing match, Shahbazyan knocks out Meerschaert. Not gonna push back on that. I just think that, like, Shahbazyan has been out grappled many a time.
By who?
I think this is where I just think that
he's a monster.
I just think that this argument falls apart because I think that Meerschaert is like right in the middle. I get your point. Meerschaert is for sure not an Imavov, not a Hermanson. Not a 2020 Brunson. I think he's significantly better than Lungiambula and Dobson. I think we're talking about 3 tiers here.
But where do you have Lungiambula and Dobson ranked, like numbers-wise?
Good question.
Because if they're not 70 or further back, then he's not in the middle.
I think that he is, though. And I don't even think I have Dolce ranked. I think Dolce's been, like, irrelevant since I made my ranking. So I have Dolce Lungiambula can tier. So to answer that. And then AJ Dobson, I'm almost positive, is actual can tier. Dobson, middleweight. Yes, can tier. I have those guys both in can tier.
All right, fair.
Like with the Dumases and Brundages and Zach Reeses of the world. So that's why I'm not buying into that, like, MMA map I guess
my other thing is, like, Hermanson couldn't submit what's his name? What am I trying to say here? Couldn't submit Shahbazyan. So, like, I don't think there's a chance Meerschaert does. Like, if Hermanson couldn't get him down and get the, I'm looking up the control time and all that stats right here. So he 29-27'd him. And had 7 minutes of control, but wasn't able to get a submission attempt off. And Shahbazyan fired one up off his back in that fight. So I don't see Meerschaert being able to get to a position to get a submission because it looks like Or it looks like Shahbazyan's down to just get beat on and stay on his back. But I don't think Meerschaert's going to be that guy that does that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say a couple things here, and we can keep it pushing. A, it's a 1-star pick. I personally like fading Shahbazyan. So like ultra bullish, puffing my chest out on this one. I'm saying like I basically view it as a coin flip. You saw I had them in the same tier rankings wise, like 4 spots apart from each other. It's almost like a Billy Walters logic. If I would have Meerschaert like minus 120, but I'm getting them at plus 240. Like a 1 unit, especially we'll see how the other dogs shake out in this breakdown. But like I said, so that I just want to get that out of the way. I'm not like standing on business about Gerald Meerschaert. He could easily get slumped. I'm just saying I think the value's on his side.
I think he's getting crumpled.
And B, like I said, I think this is really good matchmaking, and it's like the perfect matchmaking. The fact that we're even having this debate, and it goes back to my point. Clearly not a Hermanson, clearly not an Armanov, but clearly not like a AJ Dobson can. So I think It's perfect matchmaking, and I think that's the reason why it's even leading to this debate. But yeah, you'll take Shahbazyan on this one. Like I said, I may or may not do a little Meerschaert 1 unit sprinkle. Like I said, I have them 5, like in the same exact tier. Billy Walters logic would love the plus 240. But I do admit, like, the path to victory is murky because, like, Shahbazyan doesn't get subbed. Meerschaert, that's his main path to victory. I get it. It's not perfect. But I don't like Shahbazyan getting, I don't like Shahbazyan. I think the value's way off here. Even if he does win, I think he should be like minus 140. I just think there's no way. Like I said, very similar to how I felt about Tom Nolan. Like, I didn't think Tom Nolan should be minus 1,200 over anybody. I don't think that Shahbazyan should be minus 300 over anybody that's not in the can tier. And I don't have Joe Meerschaert.
I'm glad you said the can tier part. I thought you were going to say anybody. I was like, come on.
No, but yeah.
Like, your personal bias is definitely clouding you on this one. It's fine. One of us is bringing a shovel to the breakdown. We can keep it pushing.
Yes, sir. Up next, man, we've got the late-minute replacement fight. Dennis Buzukja taking on Francis Marshall. And talking about close in the power rankings, man, I got Buzukja 72, Marshall 74, which is literally my final koozie tier before can tier. So featherweight's that deep that I don't have them in the can tier. Just bottom of koozie. I'm taking Buzukja 2 stars here. We were talking about it on the text chain a little bit before the show started. Clearly, Buzukja had a full camp. Marshall stepping in.
He's the dog, plus 125. I didn't see odds earlier today when I looked. Their odds are finally up. Sorry, I just had to throw it out there. That's probably my dog of the week, if I'm being real, because I liked him to win already by a lot. And at plus 125, that's my most confident number at a plus.
Yeah, and there's a couple of factors you mentioned. Obviously, Marshall not a full camp, going to be a harder weight cut. Another factor. Buzukja last fight got a finish. Marshall last fight got finished. I believe for the first time in his career, so that can like affect the fighter for sure. And then also Marshall trains at a pretty weak sauce gym just by looking on Tapology. Obviously, I don't know the X's and O's and all that, but basically from what I saw on Tapology, Francis Marshall's like the big dog at this gym, like their highest, like most well-known fighter. And that's not great. And then Buzukja trains at Cerro Longo, Merab, Aljo, which granted, I think Merab and Aljo are spending a lot more time in Vegas these days. But point well taken. That's clearly like a higher level gym. Had a full camp. I don't really know why Vegas likes Marshall so much, unless there's something I don't know. But maybe they think he's healthier. Maybe it's the opposite logic. Buzukja went through a whole camp. Maybe he's a little beat up. I don't know.
Could be. Is Buzukja's takedown defense questionable? I mean, he doesn't get subbed.
Well, and this reminds me of very similar to the Meerschaert Shahbazyan combo. Like, the fighters that have beaten these fighters are better than the guys that they're fighting currently. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like Buzukja has losses to Sean Woodson and some good guys.
To Jamal Emmers, Sean Woodson, and Melsik Bagdasaryan in his Dana White Contender Series first audition in 2020. And like Melsik Bagdasaryan was in the UFC for a cool minute.
Exactly. And then has a win over Connor Matthews. And then Francis Marshall, you could almost say the same thing. Win over Connor Matthews. So they both have a win over Connor Matthews. Then gets the win over Marcelo Rojo, but then loses to Gomez, who I'm pretty, and take Gomez to a split decision. And I'm kind of high on Gomez, relatively speaking, compared to these guys. And then Bulgarian, loses in the first round KO. Not great. I'm not the highest on Bulgarian.
Dolgarian, so I called that one. Dolgarian beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, I do remember that one. So yeah, I'll take Buzukja 2 starts here, especially at that price. And you're right. I like Buzukja more than I like Meerschaert, so I guess that whole debate is kind of null and void because it probably won't end up getting sprinkled. But yeah, I do think this is a safer dog pick.
It's one that feels better, but God, if fucking GM3 pulls that out, I will eat a bag of dicks. We will keep it pushing to Zachary Reese and Jose Medina. Zachary Reese minus 600, Jose Medina plus 400. I do have a take on this one, as surprising as that might sound. And that is, have you looked at Jose Medina's record? Do you know who he's fought and won and lost to in his career?
Well, I did in the moment. I don't have it memorized. I'm pulling it up now but in my notes I have debut Can versus Can.
So he has the loss to Gadji Azulov, right? If you go to one of his losses against Antonio Gordillo, that guy only fought 2 fights and beat Jose Medina in one of them in 2019.
I remember Gadji Azulov. I remember this fight because he was undefeated. We were thinking about.
Actually, I should probably look at this in Tapology just to get a better read.
About betting him, but then he ends up being super snoozy and getting a super close split decision over Brenson Ribeiro, and he just seemed super overrated, and we were kind of out on him. Zachary Reese, on the other hand, is. Yeah, not first round. Not this is the guy that Cody Brundage slammed, and then he has the win over Washed Marquez. Yeah, this is Can versus debut Can. I'm not touching this one with the 10-foot pole.
I know. Oh, no. You didn't even hear the take. It wasn't Reese 600. It has nothing to do with Reese. It has everything to do with these guys. They're Ultra Cans. This is an under.
Oh, the Ultra Can under. What's the number at? I'll hear it out because we were talking about whenever can on can betting under is not a bad idea.
Unfortunately, not available because Vegas hates us. Let me see if ESPN Bet's giving it out here. Okay, all right. Under 1.5 minus 155.
Don't love that. I'll take Morales by decision before I do that.
Well, I think there's over-under parlay to be made this week, 100%, because I've given out 4 already that are all minus 160, minus 180, minus 155, and you said, oh, I don't love that. Well, if you put all 4 of them together, you'd probably fucking love it, wouldn't you?
I probably fucking would. Yeah, no, that's a good point, brother. Yeah, man, but yeah, money line. What is this money line? Just for shits and gigs.
Minus 600. Minus 600 plus 400. Dude, Jose Medina is bad.
Yeah, but this has Tom Nolan vibes again.
I agree. Super unbettable because Zach Reese is also bad sometimes. That's what I'm saying. Under 1.5. We love it. We love it. Minus 155. It sounds like the best value on this card so far.
All right. Yeah. I'll write it down. Reese under 1.5. You said it's minus 155.
Yeah.
All righty. We'll revisit that.
Also,
but yeah,
middleweights, so they have KO power. Like there's going to be finishing power.
For sure. And from what I remember, Reese can crack, if I'm not mistaken.
He was beating the fuck out of Brundage, so Brundage literally slammed him and KO'd him.
Oh, you know what? We skipped one, and that's probably on me. I think it is
on me. Ofli and Myron Santos.
Yeah, that hasn't been officially added to the Tapology card, but that's the featherweight tough finale, so it has to be on there.
Yeah, it's actually right after Robert Valentin. I'm glad you said that because I had forgot to go back to that.
And I also had skipped the Borschev fight, so I guess I skipped 2. I'm all over the place.
No, that one is on the prelims, according to ESPN. You're right. Like, Borschev was next on the ESPN list.
Okay. All right. So tough finale. Who was it? Oh, it's the Australian guy. Yeah, he's fucking good,
Yeah,
man. He's good.
Con Ofli, and then fucking Myron
And,
Santos.
then, and Santos, this is kind of a classic wrestler versus striker because
Mm-hmm.
Santos has the slick knees and the long check hooks. I just watched that fight last night, so it's fresh on my brain. But Colin Ofli, man, I remember watching him and being like, this guy looks the part. Like the grappling and wrestling looks UFC caliber. He's fucking jacked for a featherweight. When they did their stare down, and he looked like just way more filled out. But Santos is taller, longer. I don't know, man. How do you feel about this one? I'm just like, because this is classic kind of wrestler versus striker. Like obviously, I think if Santos can keep it standing, I like it. He's a dynamic striker, but also wasn't able to finish Old Boy last night, who was like the backup kind of can fighter. So if the dynamic striker can't finish the can 0-2 on tough guy,
Right. I'm kind of with Ofli, especially because the number is plus 165 on his side. Like I don't think Santos is 2-1 better than him.
How do you spell that? How do you spell that? Ofli?
Yep. I think it's isn't it Con Ofli?
So and then Myron Santos, and you said Ofli was what
Plus
Ofli's
165. Yeah, almost a 2-1.
And Santos coming off that weight miss, he had a really tough weight cut. Like that was only like a couple weeks ago, or like a week ago.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Wait. Don't they film that last episode like months before?
I don't think it's months. I think it's a few weeks. Like I don't think it was live. Clearly,
you might be right.
I don't.
Well, it has to be. It has to be long enough for when do Shevchenko and they fight September 14th. Whatever's 10 weeks back from that, because the show has to end then, so the coaches can go start their camps.
Yeah, I guess I don't know the exact answer on that. But regardless, Santos struggled to make weight.
So that fight would have taken place like probably July 1st, like right before 4th of July. So it's been 7 weeks since the show ended.
That means these guys get a full camp for this fight then.
Yeah,
you know who got fucked though was that Lithuanian guy. He got fucked because he had the cracked orbital and wouldn't get cleared to fight. Because he was damn good. I think he's better than Santos. I think he would have beat Santos in my opinion. I
agree.
He got hosed. I hope he still gets like a contender series shot or a late minute replacement shot in the UFC. That guy's good. But yeah, I guess we're both on Ofli.
I have him 1 star. I only have him 1 star. I don't know if because it's just so. Maybe I want 2 stars. I don't know. It's just unpredictable. But featherweight doesn't necessarily always mean starching power for a lot of guys.
I don't know, man. But then again, yeah, because Santos, the guy he beat on the finale episode, was the semifinals, was a wrestler, but he was like a dog shit can wrestler from Mexico. Con Ofli's like a
Santos has an 8-inch reach advantage.
No, Santos is long. That's what I'm saying. If this stays on the feet, Santos can go, man. He has knees, elbows, long check hooks. Like Santos can strike.
What gym is Ofli out of? Oh, Australian top team. I don't hate that.
Ofli's a stud, man. Ofli's a stud. I'll say eye test wise, which is all you can really do on tough because there's no really juxtaposition. On tough, it's all eye test, and Ofli looked the part for me. I remember distinctly, more so than Santos did. The fact that Santos didn't finish the can Mexican wrestler is alarming to me.
You know what? Give me Ofli at age 31. Literally is 2 months older than me. Shout out. 31 tomorrow, baby.
I was about to say your birthday's fucking tomorrow, isn't it? Happy birthday, bro.
Appreciate it. And then Myron Santos, 24. So I'm not saying he's like super young. I'll just take in this moment on the main card. I know it's Apex, but like still, I think this whole camp, the build up, give me Ofli. I like Ofli here. I might even make it a 2-star. I don't know. At plus 165, that might be a 2-star bet, which is probably my dog of the week. Do I get to count Ricci at -1? Or wait, what was the -105 dog I had? What was Ricci? Right?
Plus 100. Damn, we're on the dogs this week.
I sure wish I would have been last week. Where am I on this card? All right, yeah, plus 100 on Ricci. Hopefully plus 165. Yeah, I say we can keep it pushing if you want. We got God, we still have 4 fights left to go. Anyway,
up next, Borschev Llontop,
yes,
right?
sir. Yeah. That's right.
So this one, man, this is probably outside of Morales my most bullish pick. I have Borschev power rank 63 and Llontop power rank 82. I know it's a small sample size on Llontop, but I remember just not passing the eye test and not being stoked on him. And Borschev, not a world beater, not a perfect fighter, but at 63 at lightweight, that's like basically right in the middle. He's like a UFC caliber lightweight. I think that's like fair to say. And I'm not convinced that Llontop is a UFC caliber lightweight. Like, gives me Can vibes. So I'm all over Borschev here, and at minus 220, it's the only fight on this card that actually like is like built for a parlay.
Oh,
Valentin.
Yeah. Perfect.
That's probably going to be that's probably going to be like the core of my parlay this week. Borschev and Valentin. Just they're at that right money line number. I feel really good about Borschev. I mean, I can give you more if you want more as far as reasons why. I don't know. How are you feeling about this one?
Oh, copy paste, actually. I literally have the exact same feeling. I have him 2 stars. Minus 225, I feel like, is a super bettable number. And Borschev, I tried to bet against him recently, and that went not my way. So, I guess technically it didn't go my way because I bet on Sajikov to beat him, and then he fucking 10-8'd him in the 3rd round, so it was a draw.
It was a draw.
Right.
Yeah, it was a draw.
But
yeah, man. I mean, Llontop's only UFC fight lost to Chris Padilla, who is like not like great, like basically can on can violence there.
Yeah, this is like just eye test, honestly, man. Like Borschev, give me Borschev. He's been active, and I haven't hated his performances.
No, and like Borschev will beat the Mahashates, you know what I'm saying? Draw with Sadikov. Like he lost to Mike Davis and Chase Hooper, who I think are a higher level than Llontop. But I mean, beat Chris Duncan. Like he beats the cans. Like when he gets in there with the can, and I don't have any evidence to suggest to me that Llontop's not a can. I think against this level of guy, Borschev does really good. But whenever they try to jump Borschev up, he doesn't pass those tests. So.
I think, it's like Borschev always finds his level in fights, like which is crazy because you'll see him get like a little beat up by some of the guys that are worse than him, and then I've seen him flatline like 2 of those guys twice. Or, you know what I'm saying? But
yes. Yeah, we'll keep it pushing.
I've also seen him lose, but yes, I agree. Let's keep it pushing to all. I actually I'm getting scared saying I like dogs, but we got Jacqueline Cavalcanti and Josiane Nunes, but I like Nunes here.
See, I did at first.
Okay, sell me on it, because I only have it as 1 star.
The loss to Chelsea Chandler is alarming not just because I'm out on Chelsea Chandler, although I am. Very similar, like, body types and I think styles to Cavalcanti. No, like they're both 5'8", famously very short at like 5'1", 5'2". Decision machine, striker. Very similar, but honestly probably a better version of Chelsea Chandler, more of a dog than Chelsea Chandler. So I just think stylistically, and I'm not even a big stylistically, I don't use that word a lot, but like Cavalcanti, it makes me nervous because like power rankings wise, like I want to say Nunes, but so I arrived at no bet here. I don't think I'm going to touch this one. Cavalcanti not officially a debut, but hasn't fought since hasn't fought since September of 23, and that was against Zara Farin, who's not even really an MMA fighter, more of a boxer.
They both have wins over Zara Farin, right? Nunes and Cavalcanti.
They do, and I think they were. Was they both a decision? Yeah, both a decision. I don't know, man. I don't have any reason to bet this one. What's the number? What's the money line on it?
So number on it is Josiane Nunes plus 175, Jacqueline Cavalcanti minus 210. My only thing is Cavalcanti has 0 takedown shot in her UFC career, as well as Josiane Nunes. This fight's gonna take place fully on the feet, striking.
And Nunes has power. I just like the loss to Chelsea Chandler.
That's why I'm almost like a no bet / 1 star to Nunes. Is like I think the fight style slightly favors her, but it's still just not worth a fucking bet, right?
I think the fight style favors Cavalcanti because she reminds me of Chelsea Chandler, who just beat Nunes. And I'm sorry, Nunes. Like, if you can't solve the Chelsea Chandler puzzle, which is like, like the little kid puzzles where the pieces are like the size of your head. It's like a 25-piece puzzle. That's the Chelsea Chandler puzzle. And Nunes couldn't solve it. Yeah, I'm kind of out on everybody involved here. If Cavalcanti gets the win over Nunes and goes to 2-0, maybe I'll have to I'll take a peek at her, see if I reevaluate. But let's keep it pushing here.
Well,
I'm not putting my money on this one.
I was gonna ask you, both girls, do they have any UFC finishes? Either of them?
I want to say Nunes has one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Bree Malecki or I can't remember her first name. I don't want to just make up a first name that feels wrong.
Yeah, Bam Malecki.
Yeah. Okay, close. And then Cavalcanti only has her debut win over Zara Farn. Yeah, I guess the over, but nah, just no bet. We can keep it
fuck
pushing.
this fight. Yeah, I'm not stoked on that one at all. And then up next, I got another no bet, unless
I don't have anything to say about this fight
because it's a certified can taken on a road to UFC debut. So it's like fade on fade on fade on fade.
Right, like if I could fade both guys, and if I knew what the under-over was, let me see if ESPN's being so... They're not even gracious enough to give us that one. They can't. They know they can't.
I don't even blame them. I'm not even mad at them. Who cares?
Yeah. That's yeah.
Because I thought open to maybe being swayed if you were wanting to just stand on the table, as they say, for the road to UFC fade. But with Victoria Leonardo, it's hard to even do that because that's a betting strategy we employ on this show, is just fading road to UFC fighters. But when they're fighting like a certified can,
by the way,
like
Ramaska, that feels kind of cheating to go from Lithuania to road to UFC Asia. Lithuania feels like Europe to me.
Is that where are we not talking about Wang here? Wang? Is that not who we're talking about here?
Oh, I thought you were on Zigimontis Ramaska versus Nathan Fletcher.
Did that get added to this card?
Yeah. There's no odds. There's no pictures. It's debut on debut.
Tapology doesn't even have it on there yet at all. I was talking about Leonardo and Kong Wang.
Oh. I mean, yeah.
That's the fight I was breaking down.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
if I'm betting on this, it's Wang Kong. Well, hold on. Time out. It's minus 1,300 Wang Kong plus 700 Leonardo. Only bet here is a sprinkle on Leonardo.
It is. Dude, why did that just get my scumbag?
Because you saw plus 700 on any way to snatch victory out of the jaws of defeat.
What I'm saying is, on a road to UFC, we're the road to UFC faders.
Oh, I know.
But Victoria Leonardo's ass.
She's so bad. And like Wang Kong is a
really
good striker.
Fair?
And
let's revisit this. Real quick. So lost to Manon Fior, Stewart, right? Lost to Gatto. Hey, I'm higher on Gatto than most. I'm a notoriously pro Gatto guy. I don't hate Gatto. Then you get the win over Mandy Bohm.
By the way, the Gatto loss is by doctor stoppage, so it's not like she actually got stopped. That was a doctor stoppage.
Yeah, broken arm too. Fucking, they were getting after it.
Goddamn.
Mandy Bohm, the win over Mandy Bohm, who's 8-2 and got cut, but has gone on a win streak, including 4 boxing matches since their fight. So probably not a can.
Oh, and then a loss to Natalia Silva.
I'm about to talk myself into this spring.
A little Leonardo sprinkle anyway, anybody?
All right, so let's go to Kong Wang. Let's go to minus world beater Kong Wang. Tom Nolan vibes. 5 pro fights, 5-0. 2 years old. Won her road to UFC fight beaten finish on a sub. Has Leonardo been subbed? That is the question. No, she only gets knocked out. Never been subbed. Or no, been subbed by Miranda Maverick in her third fight ever.
Hold on. In Halloween 2015, this girl out-kickboxed Valentina Shevchenko.
Holy shit.
I don't know if we can bet against that girl. I don't know. I do not know. You know what? In 2015, she was 22 years old, and she out-kickboxed Valentina Shevchenko. She might be a motherfucking prodigy, dog. We might be sleeping.
But, yeah.
Victoria Leonardo loves to lose by a TKO. She loves to lose by a TKO.
She does.
When you're really good. And maybe Wang Kong is actually really fucking good. I'm so glad that I saw she could outstrike Valentina Shevchenko in a striking-only affair. That's crazy.
First good road to UFC fighter ever.
It sounds like they stole a professional kickboxer and made her fight Road to UFC to get there instead of Dana White Contender Series to boost Road to UFC. This sounds like, I smell a rat. I smell a rat.
And then, all right, to your point, and then on that Road to UFC fight, wins by first round mounted Gilly. So, like, has rounded out the game.
She won a fight by head kick. She's won a fight by rear naked choke and round. What's the longest fight Oh, she has some decisions. Okay. Wait. She's fought in UAE Warriors? That's a good promotion and has a win there.
Over-under on this one.
Man, she's going to beat the shit out of Victoria Leonardo. Over-under is actually not an unbettable number. Over -175, under +135. Kind of like that under.
1.5 or what?
1.5, yeah. Tough.
Over 1.5 is plus money?
No, over 1.5 is -175. Under 1.5 +135. If this girl's as good at striking it as we think she is, she's going to knock the fuck out of old ass Victoria Leonardo.
Yeah, because Natalia Silva, who's a striker, got the first round head kick knockout.
Right.
Fiora did and then Fiora got a head kick as well. Jesus Christ.
That was the over, but oh wait, they both got head kicks, both those girls? Oh, this girl's already won a fight by head kick in her professional career.
I'll say this though. This whole little breakdown that was a big circle back to right where I started.
No bet.
Like, yeah. Well, Yep. All right, so sorry, that was much ado about nothing. It's because we didn't really know shit about Kong Wang. Fucking sue us. We're discovering.
we had to enjoy the fact that she outstruck Valentina Shevchenko 9 years ago when like both girls were seemingly right before their primes of life. I don't know. You can argue 31 right now. Like Shevchenko was 28 and that girl was 22 and she beat her. She was 22 and she beat a 28-year-old. That's pretty nice.
I'll say, though, on the same note, Victoria Leonardo has, like, her losses are aging better than, like, her perception would have you believe, 100%. I guess, is how I would work that. But, like I said, no bet on that one. So now, time to go to best bets here. Got to assemble this parlay. We said, for sure, Borschev, 220 or -225, whatever number you can find it at. Doesn't really make that big of a difference. Borschev, first leg, boom.
Valentin.
Well, let's just see, because I like to do it in order here. Yeah, Valentin's the only. Are we gonna do Valentin and Ricci? Is that how this is gonna shape out for the juicy 3-leg?
That would be a fire 3-leg. I would kind of believe in that 3-leg, to be honest with you, just because, like, we've been trying to take all favorites on these parlays, and, like, that hasn't been working. Dogs have been barking in our face lately. It sucks. Yeah, we just can't call the right dog.
And, like, I don't really want to bet Ricci as the dog of the week at +100, but on a parlay, that's a juice city. Fire up the old parlay calculator. Let's see what -220, -180, and +100 look like on that 3-leg.
+352.
That's good enough for me, brother. That's good enough for me. On a week where we have like 4 or 5 no bets, and it's hard. Like I don't think this is a week for a 4, 5, 6 legger. I think
No. This is a week for a dog, a 3-leg, and a prop. Maybe a couple props, and maybe an over/under parlay. I could see myself on an over/under parlay.
I even could have a couple of dogs. I may do Buzukja and Ofli in one unit each.
Right? Yeah, I'm saying the dogs might be barking in my mind this week.
Now, do you want to? Well, we're still talking about parlays here. I know it's going to kind of blur the line between props and parlays, but you've been talking this episode about your over/under parlay. The only one, I got to be real, the only one that I really love is the Reese at minus 115. But I'm going to turn the floor over to you if you want to go ahead and assemble that over/under parlay. I'll hear you out.
All right, so hear me out. I just hear these options and then help me pick the best 3. Okay, if that makes sense.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I do like the Kong Leonardo under 1.5 plus 135. I think Leonardo gets finished, head kick, maybe even early second round.
I'll say this, though. In my opinion, if we're doing parlays, like I would bet that more as a straight. I don't know if I'd want to throw that as a parlay since that has the plus money, and there's a bunch that have, negative value.
Okay, all right. Reese Medina, we got that one. We don't know the number, but we know that one.
No, Reese Medina was under 1.5. I think you said it was minus 115. I think we were able to find that one.
Do I have it? Minus 155. You're right.
Minus 155. Yeah. Still not bad. Not the worst.
Still love it. Michael Morales, Neil Magny over 2.5, minus 185.
That's crazy. They think that's going to go under, but they think Morales is that much better.
No, over. Oh,
I
yeah.
Know, but
I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
Because like minus 900 caveman math, early finish. But they don't think so. Which means they're standing on business about that over.
True. And then I love Borralho, Cannonier minus 175 over 3.5.
Love that it's at 3.5. See, out of those, I like the Reese in the main event. That's only 2 legs. I don't know if you want to see that value on what the 2-legger would be. Because like I said, I like that first one as a straight, and I don't love at all really. So yeah, let's see what the minus 155 Reese, and then whatever you said that main event over 3.5. Let's see what that comes out to on the 2-leg.
I'm just telling you, I would bet the Wang Kong. Plus 135 is not unbettable by any means whatsoever.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm just not bullish on that one in and of itself, much less on a parlay.
What was this one? Minus 175. Okay. This probably be like, plus 120 or something. Plus 160.
Ooh, okay. I could be talking to that one. So that was the Reese under,
Cannonier, Borralho over.
3.5 over 3.5. And you said the number. What was the 2-leg?
Plus 160.
Yeah. That might get a unit from me. And we haven't done an over/under parlay in a hot minute. Or really done an over/under in general, even though you did hit the sweet Jenkins over 1.5 last week on that leg.
That's true.
And then just for the people at home, go ahead and add your Kong or your Wong, whatever. Add your Wong bet and see what the 3-leg looks like for the people. I probably won't bet it, but
plus 508.
Somebody out there. Plus 508. Juicy.
Yeah.
Juices the fuck out of it. Nicely done. All right. And then, so dog of the week, gun to your head. You going Buzukja or Ofli?
Probably Buzukja. I think the full camp. I think I can. Who can I believe in more? You know what I mean?
See, I think go on a limb and say in a vacuum, I like Ofli more. I like that guy. I like the cut of that guy's jib. Buzukja has borderline can vibes. He's just fighting another borderline can vibes guy. Ofli might be actually really fucking good, bro. His wrestling, his cardio, he seems like a plus athlete. He's a dog.
You know
Things have
what?
been pretty hot lately.
Fuck it. I'd rather ride Ofli. I don't want
Like
to believe in Buzukja. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's
the
shown me more, but I don't want to believe in him.
the ceiling on Ofli for sure higher. You could argue the floor may be higher for Buzukja, although I don't know if I'd make that argument. And then Ricci at plus 100, if you could find that number at a book. I mean, like I said, we have her on our parlay, but probably my actual favorite dog, if you just wanted to be minty bet snooze fest about it. But like I said, we put her
I could see
on the
myself
parlay.
putting 5 units on Ricci just to get him back because I really like her in that fight.
See, in a weird way, I like Ofli more than Ricci, just because like Angela Hill, man, every time I count her out, you know how many tickets I've lost betting? Hey, I've lost tickets betting on Ricci, and I've lost tickets betting against Angela Hill. It makes me nervous.
Here's all I'm saying is, it's like roulette. You stick to the same color, you will cash that color eventually.
Eventually. No, I feel you. The Angela Hill fade just got to hit one of these days.
That's what I said. That she's my forever fade now, just because, like, based on career longevity, like, she's too old to continue to perform well for this long.
I'm going to throw a scumbag option out here. Let's see what the dog 3-leg looks like. I mean, since we're saying we can't really make up our mind, we kind of like them all. We just made an argument for all three of them. All right? So it's plus 125, plus 165, and plus 100. Let's see what this scumbag 3-leg.
God, then if you throw the Kong Wang under on there, it's plus 1093 for those 3 dogs.
Fuck out of here! Plus that. See, I think that'll get a scumbag sprinkle from me. I'm sorry. Plus 1,000.
You throw the Kong Wang under on, it's plus 2,700. Plus 2,700.
Bro, Harrison standing on business on that Kong Wang over under.
Plus 2,700.
Oh man, but hey, plus 1093. I think that's gonna get a unit. I think we gotta like be a little creative this week. All right, but official dog of the week, we're going Ofli, right? Official. Like if I gun to my head, I had to pick a dog, probably picking Ofli.
Well, if I could count it, it'd be Ricci, but otherwise, Ofli.
Yeah, we're just saying no minty bets bullshit over here.
Right. Although I'd like to be in this situation.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But plus, all right, let's keep it pushing to the prop bets here. There's a lot we like this week. Nominees: Borralho by decision plus 200, Ricci by decision plus 135, Morales by decision minus 110, and I have Reese under here, but we already have that other over-under parlay stumbled, so I'm going to take that off of the prop of the week nominees. I guess based on how you're talking, you'd probably do the Kong Wang as your number one prop.
No, I'd do Ricci by decision. If I'm not betting her as the dog of the week, I'd take her as my by decision.
See, I think that's where I'm at.
Like, I think that makes sense because, like, I genuinely believe in her to win, and I'm saying I can't really take her as my dog of the week, and I know for a fact that fight's going to go to a decision. I don't know for a fact, by the way, but 98% of me knows that fight's going to a decision.
I'm struggling too with Borralho by decision because at minus money I don't like Borralho, but at plus 200 by decision and Cannonier's a decision. Excuse me. Cannonier's a decision machine.
Except in his last fight.
Yeah. No, I feel it. And the strawweight women obviously more likely to go to decision than middleweight men. Just broad stroke statement. But I can see myself doing maybe 2 units on Ricci by decision and 1 unit on Borralho by decision, something like that. The Borralho by decision might get a ticket from me. Really might, especially because
I think with
I
that
don't
one,
have
I'd
it on any
rather
parlays.
I like that one as the over under more. Just going over 3.5 because 3.5 is such a juicy number.
Right, I forgot we had the over 3.5. Yeah. Ooh, but it's That's interesting. That's interesting. Something to think about. So, I'll say this: if I find myself at the kiosk with a spare 5 left in the machine, instead of cashing it out for 5, I'll throw it on Borralho by decision.
There you go. We love to see it.
Yeah. But and then Morales by decision, it's like at minus 110, and he could probably get the finish. I think like at minus, that's what I'm saying. I'm having a hard time still. My brain just doesn't like that juxtaposition of minus 900 money line with minus 110 by decision, and even less than that by KO. I just can't make sense of all those. All those numbers just aren't adding up to me. It makes me just want to stay away from it, honestly.
I'm with you. There's a lot of stuff that I hate about this card. Like, I think we did a good job to find any value at all because, God, this card is not the most fun.
But overall, though, some fun. So we got a 3-leg money line parlay. Borschev, Valentin, Ricci, plus 352. That's getting a unit or two from your boy. Over-under parlay we're giving you this week. The Reese, who's he fighting? Reese Medina under 1.5, parlayed with the Borralho Cannonier over 3.5 plus 160. Actually, really like that. Buzukja, Ofli, Ricci, dog parlay. Obviously a long shot, but love the number at plus 1093. Probably going to get a sprinkle. And then prop of the week, Ricci by decision, plus 135. You got strawweight women, you got evenly matched women, you got women that both go to a lot of decisions.
And a 10-year age gap.
10-year age gap, striker, but more of a volume striker. Ricci kind of likes to mix the martial arts, grind it against the fence a little bit. Sets up for a decision, I think. Even what you said, the over 2.5 was like minus 490 or something. So to
minus 600 on ESPN Bet.
Yeah, so Vegas is telling you it's going to a decision. We like Ricci to win. So fact, though, Ricci by decision plus 135. Love that. Honorable mention, Borralho by decision plus 200. Third place, bronze medal, Morales by decision minus 110. And then dog of the week, we're rocking with the Ultimate Fighter, Con Ofli, plus 165. I like the cut of his jib. No, I guess with the caveat being, if Santos keep it on the feet, he's a motherfucker to deal with. Going to have a big reach advantage, really dynamic striker, but Ofli's ability to get that to the mat. Because even against the wrestler, the kind of wrestler on the most recent episode of Tough, like Santos was getting taken down. Now, he was able to get up, and the guy didn't offer much of a threat, but he was getting taken down. And I think Ofli can do the same thing, but like better and keep him down or maybe get some damage off, maybe attempt to sub, advanced position, which the wrestler from Mexico wasn't able to do. So, I mean, yeah, take that for what it's worth, but also Dennis Buzukja might get a unit from me over Marshall just because basically a coin flip fight, but Marshall coming off getting finished, comes from a worse camp, didn't have a full camp, late minute replacement, hard weight cut. Buzukja has some things in his favor that make me like the plus 125 number.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, but yeah, that wraps it up for this week.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Hit subscribe. Check us out on X. Still doing the Jack Della Maddalena rookie card giveaway. If you DM us a screenshot of you subscribe to our YouTube and following us on X, go ahead and at Beefy Breakdown is where you can find us on X. Send me that screenshot, and I'll mail you a free Jack Della Maddalena rookie card, one of the hottest rookie welterweight prospects there is right now. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and let's cash these tickets.
Yes, sir. See you guys for the breakdown. Probably Monday. Maybe Sunday if you're super lucky, but probably Monday.